Hello everyone, this is Yamin and welcome to Laravel e-commerce project tutorial for beginner. In this tutorial, we are going to move the cart data to the order table. So in the order table, we have name, receiver address, phone number, product ID and the user ID. And we'll also have one more column called status, whether the product is delivered or not delivered or in progress. So first of all, let's go and create an order table. So for it, let me just go to the project directory. And let me just open a command prompt here. We'll say cmd, then press enter, and here I'm going to create an order table. So for it, we need to say here piece partition, make, clone. We'll create a model and migration at the same time. Our table name will be order, and we'll give over here -l. It means migration. So we'll press enter, and then it gets a model and migration is created. So let's go back to our code. And if we just go to models, app, then models, here you can see we have a order.php model over here. And right now, if we just go to our database, then migration, and inside migration, we have this order tables. So here, let's go and add some columns. So let's say here $table, this arrow sign, we are going to say here string. Then we say it will be name. Let's just make it nullable. And let me just copy this and I paste it, let's say 5 times on 2, 3, 4 and 5. So after name we'll have over here receiver address. So let's say over here rec underscore address. Here we say phone number, let's just say phone. After phone we'll have here status. Let's say here status, and status will have a default value. So here we are going to say default, and that default value will be, let's say, progress, or let's say in progress. This will be the default value for status, and we have 2 more columns that will be product ID and user ID, and we use those as a foreign key. So since this is a foreign key, so we are going to say over here unsigned integer, and here we are going to say user ID. User underscore ID. So we get the user ID from the user table, and after that, okay, let me just copy this and I'm going to paste it here, and this one will be product ID. So let's say here product ID, and since this is a foreign key, so it won't be nullable, and let's make it unsigned big integer. Let's say here big integer, and after that, to make it foreign key, we need to write one more line, that is $table, arrow sign foreign. Then we need to first bracket to single quotation user underscore ID, which is basically this one, and the reference. We need to make sure the reference. So we need to say what here reference, and it will be ID, and it will be references, and this ID will come from the user table. So ID on, we'll say there users, then we'll say there on delete, it will be cascade. So right now let me just copy this and we'll do the same for the product. So here we are going to say product ID, and here list of users, we are going to mention the product table. So we say here products, and it will be on update. And okay, I made a spelling mistake, it will be user ID. So let's set this and let's go back to our command prompt, and we're going to say over here php artisan migrate and press enter, and there you can see on order table is migrated. So right now let me just go back to our browser, then database, let me just refresh here. And here you can see we have an order table. If I click on order table, here you can see name, receiver address, phone number, status, user ID and product ID. So let's go and get some input field over here called name, address and phone number. Receiver name, receiver address and phone number, and a confirm order button. And we'll get the product ID and user ID from the table. So let's go back to the code, and we'll go to our mycard.blend.php, and here you can see our table started over here. So before this, let me just mention a div here. Then in this div, we're going to have a form. So we say here form. Then in this form, let's mention another div. Here we're going to say level. Level will be, let's say, receiver name. And for it, we're going to give a input field. So input type will be text. And here we're going to say name equal to, it will be name. Let me just open this and I'm going to paste it on 2 and 3 times. So after receiver name, let's say here receiver address, and here let's say receiver phone. So for address, let's use text area. We're going to say over here text area, and for this text area we need a name. Let's say name will be address, and this one will be receiver phone, type will be text. Okay, that's fine. And name equal to, it will be phone, and this one will be the confirm button. So input type, it will be submit, and here we are going to say value, it will be place order. And for this input type submit, let's mention a bootstrap class. Let's say the class name will be btn primary. Save. Let's go back, refresh, and there you can see. So obviously we are going to make some design for this. So let's go back to the code again, and first of all, for this team, let's just mention a class, and let's say class name will be order underscore teg. So let's go at the top. In the style, we are going to say dot order underscore teg. We give to second bracket. Let's say here padding right, it will be on 50 px, and margin top, it will be, let's say, minus 200 px. If you now save it, there will be some padding over here, and our form will be edited at the top. If we now refresh, there you can see. So right now, let's go and add some design over here. So for it, let's go back, and here for the level, we are going to write some CSS. So level, we'll say over here display, it will be inline block, and we are going to say width, it will be on 50 px, and this was for the level. So let's write some CSS for this div. So let's just mention a class. Let's say over here div underscore, let's say gap. Let me just copy this, and I'm going to paste it for each div. This is the last one. So let's go and write some CSS for this. So here in the style, we're going to say dot div underscore gap, then to second bracket, we're going to say padding, it will be, let's say, 20 days. Save it, then refresh here, and there you go. I think padding is too much. Let's just make the padding on 100 px over here for order underscore tg. Refresh. Okay, I think this is fine. So right now what we do is that here in the receiver name, address, and phone number, we're going to get the logged in user. Okay, let me just go to the user table. We want to get the logged in user name, phone number, and address. And if the user on, they can modify it. So let's go back to the code, and let me just go down. And here, in order to get logged in user name, in the input field, we just need to say over here hello, and then we need to say here auth double prong user to first bracket. There is this arrow sign. We need to say here name. So for where it will come from, if you go to the user table, in the user table here you can see name. So this name will come over here. And we need to give to second bracket as well. So it will get the logged in user name over here. So if you now say, then refresh here, there you can see you are able to get the logged in user name. So the same way we'll be able to get the user address and phone number. So let me just copy this value from here on post C, and for text area we'll paste it here, and we're going to set here address And for phone, we're going to say here, this will be phone. And for text area, there is no need to mention the value here. Let me just remove it, save it, then refresh, and there you can see. So the user will be modify the address, let's say from here, road 7 or street 5, house 8, whatever. So let's just keep it as the way it is. And right now what we do is that when the user click on this place order button, those data, the product ID and user ID will be stored in the order table here. So for it, in the form, let's mention over here action, then we say here method will be post, then we say here at the rate of CSRF token. So in the action, let me just give to second bracket, let's mention a URL to first bracket, semicolon, let's say here confirm underscore order. Let's save this and let's go to our route, then web.php, and let me just directly go down. Then let me just copy this route, we'll paste it here. The route will be post, we say here post, and the route name was confirm underscore order. So we are going to say here confirm underscore order, we use the home controller. Function name will be confirm underscore order. So let's go to our home controller, it is function, we'll go to our app, HTTP controller and home controller. Let me just directly go down. Then we're going to say here public function confirm order, then to second bracket. Then we need to request some data. So we say one here request $request. So first of all here, we are going to declare a variable, let's say $order equal to, we need to mention the order model name, but before that we also need to add the order model at the top. So let me just copy, paste, and here we are going to say app /model /order. Let me just go down, and here we are going to say order equal to new order, which is our model name. And but before that, first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to get those data, receiver name, address and phone number in a variable. So here, let me just declare a variable. Let's say here $name equal to, we are going to say $request, this arrow sign, and the name will come from here, mycart.blade.php, and here you can see name equal to name. And here you can see name equal to address and name equal to phone. So here we are going to say request name, then let me just copy this and I'm going to paste it over here. So here we are going to say address, let me say over here address, and this one will be phone number. So we are going to say here phone. And after that, here you can see that over here in the cart we have multiple product, not a single product. Okay. So first of all, what we are going to do is we are going to go to the cart table, and over here we are going to get the product where the ID, user ID is set. So here you can see user IDs on over here 1, 2, 3 times. So we only get the product ID for which the user ID is set, and that user must be logged in. So right now what we are going to do is, let me just declare a variable, let's say $user ID equal to, we say here auth _ user, then to first bracket this arrow sign ID. So this way we will be able to get the logged in user ID and we'll store it in this variable. And after this, we are going to say over here, let's say $cart equal to, we are going to mention the cart model name. Let's say here cart _ we will say here where to first bracket to single quotation. And then here in the cart table we have user underscore ID. So we are going to say here user underscore ID, comma, we will get the logged in user ID. So here after this we say here get to first bracket like this. So what will happen is that we will get the data where the logged in user ID is set in the cart table. So after this, we're going to mention a for each loop. So here, let me say for each to first bracket, let's say dollar cart as let's say dollar cards. Just make sure that those two variables are different. Then we get to second bracket, and here you can see order equal to new order. So we'll keep it over here. Inside this for each loop, since we have multiple data, so we need to store multiple data in the order table. So after this, let me just go to the order table. In the order table, we have name, is your address, and phone number. So first of all, here we're going to say dollar order. We'll get the, or after the name, so we say here name equal to, here we already get the name over here from the input field, right? So we're going to mention this dollar name here, dollar name, and after this, let me just copy this and paste it here and here. So this time we're going to mention the receiver name. Here you can see REC underscore address. So here I am going to say REC underscore address, and here our variable is this one, dollar address. So we say here dollar address, and this one will be the whole. So this will come from the database table, and this dollar phone will come from here. So after this, we can easily get the logged in user ID by using this user underscore ID. So here we are going to say dollar order, this arrow sign, we say here user underscore ID equal to, we are going to say here this dollar user ID. And this user underscore ID, order user underscore ID will come from here. Here you can see user underscore ID. And this dollar user underscore user ID is this one. So after this, what we are going to do is, or we are going to say here dollar order, then this arrow sign, this time we want to get the product ID, and it is a little bit different. But first of all, let's write over here product underscore ID equal to, this is simple, this will come from the database table, which is this one, product underscore ID from the order table. And after that, here you can see we mention a for each loop dollar cart as dollar cards. So we are going to mention this dollar cards here. And you can see that in the dollar card, we have the all the data for a specific user ID. And if we go to the cart table, there you can see for user ID on, we have product 8, product ID 8, 12, and 11. So since this is a for each loop, so we'll be able to get all the product data. So here we're going to give this arrow sign, and from the cart table we have, you can see product underscore ID in the cart table. So we're going to mention that product underscore ID here like this. And after that, we just need to set dollar order, this arrow sign set. After saving the data, we'll keep the user on the same page. So we say here return, redirect to first bracket, this L sign back. And I also made a spelling mistake here, order. So let me just set this, and I hope everything will be okay. We'll be able to get the name, address, phone number, user ID, and product ID from the cart table and store it in the order table. Let's save it. Let me just refresh here. And if we now click on this place order button, or let me just change the name over here from user to, let's say Adam, from Canada to, let's say Canada, street 7, and phone number is fine. Okay, so we'll now click on place order. There you can see our page reloaded, and if we now go to our order table, okay, there is only on data. Let me check it. Okay, here you can see after storing data, we are just directly returning the user back to the same page, but the for each loop is still running. So it will only upload the first data. So let me just keep this redirect back after the for each loop. Okay, just keep it outside the for each loop second bracket. So this should off right now. Let me just save. Then let me just delete this data, single data from here. So let me refresh, and here the stop user, let's say here Adam, and we're going to say here Australia. Then okay, click on place order. Right now let me just refresh my table, and there you can see our name is Adam. We have address, phone number, and everything is fine right now. So we are able to upload 3 cart product data to the order table. So right now there is one more issue, and that is here you can see after uploading the data to the order table, we are still showing the product data in the cart table as well. So we should remove the data or delete the data from the cart table when we upload the data to the order table. So let's go back to the code, and after this for each loop, what we are going to do is we are going to say one here. Let's say $cart underscore remove equal to, we are going to measure our cart model name. We say our cart double clone. We are going to mention the where condition, where to first bracket to fin condition. We are going to mention the user underscore ID, then give a comma, just like before. We are going to just do this user ID, which we will get from here and get. So we'll say here $user ID, then this arrow sign get. And after this, we're going to mention a for each loop. We say here for each $cart underscore remove as, let's say just $remove, then to second bracket, and here we're going to say, so in this cart remove variable, we might have multiple product from the cart, right? So that's why we need to use for each loop. Then here we're going to declare a variable, let's say $data equal to, again we'll mention the cart model name, double clone, find to first bracket, then we're going to mention this remove over here, and we'll get the ID. So here what we are doing is that, let me just explain. If we just go to the cart table, and whenever we are confirming the order, what we'll do is that for the same user type on and on, we'll generate the data. So here we are just getting the specific data for the cart table, and then we are getting the ID, and the ID is this one. Here you can see ID. We get the specific ID, and then we delete that. So we say here $data, this arrow sign, delete. So if we now say okay, cart. So if you now save, then refresh here. Let me just delete the data from the order table first, and delete it. Okay, order table is empty, and in the cart table we have 5 data, right? So let me just refresh here and click on place order, and there you go. All the product in the cart is removed, so the total cart value is 0, and we need to fix the design obviously right now. And if we go to our database, then if we now refresh our cart table, there is only 2 data, but if you go to the order table, there is 3 data. Let me just fix the design here. So let me just go to my cart, and here I think I write over here in the order design, we write margin top and 200. Let's make it 100. Save, then refresh. Okay, let's make it 50px. Refresh again. Okay, this is fine. And right now let's just log out from here, and let's log in as a different user. Let's say here Yamin. Let's keep the password here. Click login. Let's go to our cart. Everything is fine, and if we now click on place order, there you can see order placed successfully, but we should also show the message. So let's go to our phone controller, and here we're going to mention that toaster notification. So let me just copy this from here, Control C, we go down and here, and before this return redirect back, we're going to add the toaster message. So on here we're going to say product ordered successfully. Let's save this. Let me just go to the home and let's add some product. Let's add this on and this on. Let's go to our card, click on place order. There you can see product order successfully message. So this is all for this tutorial. I showed you how you can move the data from cart table to order table. I hope this tutorial was useful to you. If you have any question or any suggestion, just let me know in the comment section. Make sure to subscribe, and I hope to see you in the future tutorials.